It's getting tired now, though, to me.
Just because an artist dies does not make them a legend. The Office is the best sitcom that I have ever watched, from pilot episode to finale. Actually, I didn't make it to the finale because after Steve Carell left, so did I. You don't have to go to church to be a good Christian. Small dogs are ugly. Celebs only like, or talk about K-pop for clout. Hi. Hello my favorite people. I'm doing a video that no one asked for and some people probably don't care about. But I'll be sharing every single one of my unpopular opinions today in this video. Obviously the whole my very unpopular opinion videos are like something that everybody does on their channels. It's a very popular topic to do, except I'm not an ordinary bitch. My opinions are different. So I think it's more appropriate to call this video my very my very non-basic unpopular opinions, I guess. I think it's fair to call this video my very unbasic unpopular opinions, because these are actually my opinions and not just things I looked up on YouTube or heard in a video or saw on Google. These are actually things that I've thought about, my personal beliefs, and everything that I actually think. So that being said, here we go into my top 15 unpopular opinions. Before we get started though, I do want to just mention again, these are my opinions, these are my beliefs, my thoughts. If you have a different opinion, that's fine. We can go back and forth in the comments, but this probably is not the video for you if you can't handle other people thinking differently. Get out of here. Okay, let's get into the first unpopular opinion. I have a whole list of them, by the way, so I'm just gonna be reading them off my phone. My first unpopular opinion is that money can actually buy you happiness. Whenever I think of all the stresses I have in my life, whether it be groceries, bills, anything that's bringing me trouble, it can somehow, one way or another, be solved if I had the money to solve it. Notice how the things rich people struggle with are not the same thing that poor people struggle with. Wondering where your next meal is gonna be, wondering how you're gonna pay your light bill, wondering if you're gonna have enough gas to get to work. Those are all things that would be solved if you had better circumstances, if you had more money in your bank account. So if you ask me, if you didn't have stress in your day-to-day life, you're definitely gonna be more happy. So therefore, having more money does buy you happiness, because having more money will relieve a lot of your stresses. Yeah. Number 2, small dogs are ugly. Honestly, they're just hideous. They're not cute at all. Pomeranians, Malteses, Shih Tzus. What's another brand? All of them. Little pugs. The animals aren't cute. The little, they're small and they run around and scratch. It looks like everything they're doing is in 4 times speed, but they're barely moving anywhere. They're not cute. Even their faces are just smushed. Their heads aren't big enough to accommodate for their face. I don't understand. Where's the appeal? I don't know. They're ugly. My third unpopular opinion is TikTokers were able to turn nothing into something, and for that I am proud of them. Now when I say I'm proud of them, that doesn't mean I condone half the stuff they do, like being racist, like TikTok only really promoting Caucasians, like them going to parties during an entire pandemic. No, I don't support the TikTokers as people, because I think most of them are just terrible people who have somehow found fame. I think I'm proud of them because these are untalented, uneducated, ignorant people who have somehow managed to get hundreds or millions of thousands of followers and turn that into currency. They literally went from being a nobody to being a famous, rich TikToker. My point is they were able to turn nothing into something, and for that, I can commend them. TikTokers are untalented people, but their talent is being able to become famous. I think that's a talent. If you're literally if you're talentless, you have nothing special about you, nothing you can do that other people can't do, and yet you're still somehow your name is still known on Hollywood Fix, you did something right. That's a talent in itself. I can't even be mad at them for that. TikTokers, marketing geniuses. There you go. My fourth unpopular opinion, I hate AVE. For those of you who don't know what AVE is, it's African American Vernacular English. Some examples are child, binu, sis, tea, shade. Now I don't say I hate them as in I hate when black people use them. I should more so specify that I hate av whenever it's overused or people outside of the people who created it use the terms. It just gets cringy and, again, overused, and it's more of just a gimmick than just natural. Like the whole trend that was going around on TikTok, it's the blah blah for me. And like putting on accents and just like speaking in ways you don't normally speak on your day-to-day life. When you're saying it, it starts to change from just being like a quirky, trendy thing to do to now borderline like stereotypical racism. Is that fair to say? So it's not necessarily that I hate the terms like chow, cis, T, all that stuff. It's more so I hate how they get used and how they get used by certain people. If you know, you know. Next, unpopular opinion. Just because an artist dies does not make them a legend. Now, with this one, I'm not even trying to be like disrespectful or anything to the younger artists who have been dying these past few years. I just feel like when an artist dies, all of a sudden their fan base and then the general public decides that they're so influential and their career left such a big impact on the world and they had millions of fans worldwide. Well, that's really just not the case. It's really not. I mean, yeah, I'm trying not to name drop, but so-and-so person had a fan base. Cool. But that does not mean they can compare to Michael Jackson. They're no Madonna. They're no the Beach Boys. They're no the Beatles. You know? It's just like, stop trying to compare where they don't compete. Again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but just because your fave has passed away does not make them a legend or an icon. Lil Peep is no Tupac Shakur. Rest in peace to Lil Peep, but I'm right. And also, before I go on to the next one, I feel like it's extremely disrespectful to the actual legends who have even made it possible for your fave to exist. Like, you're telling me Mr. Dreadlock is just as good as Michael Jackson, had the same career as Michael Jackson? From the time Mr. Jackson was in the Jackson 5 to his early death, you're telling me Mr. Dreadlock was able to do that exact same thing in his short span of talking about lean and drugs? No. Next up, Netflix is better than Hulu. Now, this unpopular opinion is more so just because I'm bitter. I like Hulu. In fact, I have both Netflix and Hulu. But I say Netflix is better than Hulu because, one, you don't have to pay not to have ads on Netflix. The only thing that I can say Hulu has like a better thing than Netflix is that Hulu's catalog is better. Like, they have better shows, better movies, all that stuff. For the viewer, Netflix is definitely better. And it's cheaper. Freaking Hulu trying to make me pay not to have ads. How disrespectful. Next, Hawaiian pizza is delicious. Absolutely. I don't understand the whole debate between whether Hawaiian pizza is good or not, or whether pineapple belongs on pizza. I just feel like the pineapples add a sweetness to like the zesty and savory aspects of the pizza. So it's like all 5 senses of your taste buds, I think there are 5 senses, all your senses on your tongue are getting stimulated by pineapple pizza. So really, you're an intellectual if you like pineapple pizza, and if you dislike it, you're just dumb. My next unpopular opinion, and I just want to give a disclaimer before this one. Again, I mean no disrespect, this is just my opinion. LGBT pronouns and sexualities and classifications and labels can be extremely confusing. This unpopular opinion mainly stems for me with the sexualities of bisexual versus pansexual. Because when I hear people sometimes try to explain it, but they sound like the exact same thing. Like, you like 2 genders, blah, 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 that's bisexual. But pansexual is you like 2 genders, but you don't necessarily like the person because of their gender. Like, you say their gender doesn't matter. Okay, that's the exact same thing as bisexual. The gender doesn't matter. So I don't really understand that. I think it'd be easier for, now this is me talking as a cis black lady, so if you say shut the f up, I understand. But I just feel like the reason the general public still, I think, struggles sometimes with the LGBT,
aside from homophobia,
is because of how complex it's become so now. Like, there's a term for everything, which is a good thing, don't get me wrong. It's just hard to digest it all and at the same time trying to understand it. Because obviously you can just say, okay, I accept it, whatever, but there's still gonna be a part of me that's like, what are they talking about? I don't understand. So yeah, no disrespect, it's just the terms can be confusing. My next unpopular opinion, The Office is better than Friends. In fact, I would go as far as to say The Office is the best white sitcom that I have ever watched, from pilot episode to finale. Actually, I didn't make it to the finale because after Steve Carell left, so did I. So there's that. My next unpopular opinion, you don't have to go to church to be a good Christian. Now, I believe this one extremely a lot. Why should I have to go commune with a bunch of people I don't even know just to prove that I love God? That doesn't even make any sense. Why do I have to leave my house just to go to another place to worship God? And why does my love for God depend on if I sit with strangers? Like, why, if I'm in a place where I feel like I need to speak to God, I need to be spiritual, whatever, I can do that at home. I can do that in bed. I can do that while I'm buying coffee. You don't necessarily, I feel like it's wrong to say, oh, if you don't go to church every Sunday, then you're not a good Christian. If you don't read the Bible every morning, you're not a good Christian. If you don't, I think they're just little rules that Christians try to set for other Christians to make themselves feel better and to kind of like feel like they're superior. Like, you think you're a better Christian just because you go to church every Sunday, but yet you're lusting after the women in your church while you're there. Stupidity. I don't even know like if anyone cares about this one, but my next unpopular opinion is that Madison Beer is not gonna get far in her career if she is just the great value version of Ariana Grande. The thing about Madison Beer is she has the whole vlog squad on her team, therefore she's already poppin'. She has more fans, I guess you could say, being associated with Vlog Squad and David Dobrik. She's a gorgeous girl, regardless of if you think she actually got a nose job or not. And she has a good voice. There's a way that you can market her that doesn't have to be a carbon copy of Ariana Grande. Yeah, her and Ariana Grande have a lot of similarities whenever it comes to their look, and she has said that Ariana is her biggest inspiration. But I feel like Madison Beer, along with all other artists really, it's better to get famous and like grow being yourself than to try to copy someone else. Because if you're just gonna keep making the copies of the same thing, it's like endless people that can replace you. But if you're just one of one and like actually genuinely being yourself, there's no way anyone can copy that. If I were to say, I want to listen to a new Blackpink song, then I say, okay, I'm tired of Blackpink, I want to listen to another group that's kind of like Blackpink. Who am I going to listen to? Because there's not another group that's similar to Blackpink. Blackpink is one of one. So it's best to be yourself naturally, and I think this is for every aspect of life, not even just the music industry. It's better to be yourself than to try to be a copy of another artist. Because just because their formula worked for them, because it was original, does not mean it's going to work for you. That's that on that. The next one I just want to talk about, because again, I'm salty. Chick-fil-A is overrated and Chipotle is overpriced. I feel like there's fast food, then there's restaurants, and then Chick-fil-A and Chipotle are somewhere in the middle. And because they're in the middle, they feel like they can overcharge. I think they can be bougie. But hello, Williams Chicken, Golden Chick, Taco Bell. Bitch, I'm not eating no damn Taco Bell. But you understand my point. Like, just because you're classier doesn't mean you have to be bougie, I guess. Maybe I'm just broke and I'm angry I have to pay $11 for a freaking bowl at Chipotle. And extra for guac. My next unpopular opinion. Celebs only like or talk about K-pop for clout. I get so irritated whenever I'm on Twitter and I see like BTS tweet or YG tweet and some celebrity from America or even like some Spanish artist quote tweets it like deserved or you get it or we stan. You stan what? I bet you they couldn't tell me a single name or a single song that the group has released. I hate when they do that because it's like these artists didn't just debut and all of a sudden got famous. Look at BTS. They debuted in 2013 and it's just like the last, I'd say 2 or 3 years that they've really like blown up. So where were these people and these celebrities in the beginning stages? I bet you if these K-pop groups weren't as popular as they are now, or if K-pop was not known worldwide, these celebrities would not be talking about these groups. They wouldn't be asking for collabs. Like, I just hate how all of a sudden, especially Western artists, all of a sudden have jumped on the K-pop bandwagon. And celebrities too. Like, stick to your acting job that no one's gonna watch. I'm salty. My next unpopular opinion, All Lives Matter is very contradictory. Now, I understand. I feel like there are two sides to All Lives Matter. There's the side that's like, okay, we don't need the term Black Lives Matter because all lives matter. But there's also the side that's like, I'm gonna say all lives matter just to demean Black Lives Matter. And I think both sides occur because they don't actually understand the purpose and the meaning behind Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is not saying only Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is not saying like Black people are superior than every other race. That's not the point. Black Lives Matter is supposed to say Black people matter too. Like, apparently everyone's forgotten that we matter too. And you can say that's not true, but like, look at the current state of America, look at history all around the world. Black people have literally got the shit end stick for forever. So Black Lives Matter is to say, we are people, we matter too. Let's not forget also that it was literally written in law that Black people were what? 2/3 of no, I'm sure they didn't give us 2/3. 1/3 of a human being. And you're telling me all lives matter when it was literally written into law, Jim Crow laws? All lives don't matter. Because if all lives mattered, there wouldn't be children locked up in cages at the border of the United States. There wouldn't be police shootings every other day. There wouldn't be people walking around with AR-15s into movie theaters. There wouldn't be churches getting burned down just because the congregation is mainly Black. All lives can't matter until Black lives matter. So that's what I'm saying. All Lives Matter is contradictory. And I really do genuinely believe the All Lives Matter movement was only created to distract from and kind of go against the Black Lives Matter movement. Because if you do believe all lives matter, you shouldn't have a problem with the Black Lives Matter movement. Because if you think all lives matter, then you should be supporting Black Lives Matter, right? If you actually understand the cause. Whoa, while we're on the topic, this whole Blue Lives Matter, what does that even mean? You can take off your police uniform when you go home. I can't change the color of my skin. No human being has blue skin. So therefore, blue lives, I don't want to say they don't matter, but that's irrational. Blue lives matter. Of course the police matter. Of course we want them to get home to their families safely. But how can you compare a job to an entire race? I don't know. I hope I explained that good. Lastly, don't come for me. Don't come for me. I love Miss Eilish. But Billie Eilish's music is starting to blend together. It's starting to get repetitive, and it's making me kind of sad. Because I think Billie Eilish is one of the best artists who have like erupted these past few years. But okay, Bad Guy, Zanny, Copycat, You Should See Me in a Crown. All her music is like melancholy, sort of monotone and sad. I don't know what I want from her. I don't think she's ever gonna put out like a pop song, but it would just be nice to see her sort of change it up at some point. I feel like Billie Eilish is catapulted like to where she's like an A-lister in the music industry. I just don't know how she can. I don't know if I see the longevity is what I'm trying to say. Like, she's popping right now, she's super famous, her music is amazing. Okay, but how are you gonna continue to do the same stuff that you're doing now in 5 years, in 10 years? I don't know, and it's sad. Alright guys, that was my unpopular opinions. If there's anything you disagree with or agree with, let me know in the comments down below. Again, these were opinions, so if there's something you felt some type of way about, I don't care. Subscribe if you're new here, let me know if you want me to do more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.